Before this episode starts, I would just like you to know we are now affiliated with Rogue Energy.
And you can now use code the Cub Cast at checkout for 10% off any of your orders on the Rogue Energy website. Enjoy tonight's show. Cozy up and welcome to this episode of the Cub Cast featuring Piotr Michael, a legend who's appeared in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War as Jason Hudson, Wizards as Squirrel and Bellrock, and, of course, Barbie and Kendra Storm Area 51.
Thanks for having
Pleasure to have
me,
you on the
guys.
show. It's actually insane.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Very excited.
Me as well.
We're
guys-
excited to have you.
You enjoying the holiday season? Is there any snow in England now?
There isn't, no.
Absolutely not.
Is it global warming or is it just typical?
It's just typical, I think.
Yeah.
What part
We
of
never have
England are you?
I live in Scotland, but Thomas lives in Manchester.
Yeah.
I studied in Essex, Colchester for a year.
Oh, nice.
That's really good.
Everybody talk like this. Hey, welcome to Essex. How you doing, mate? Okay, say something funny in American. Say French fries.
I'd say French fries. And they'd laugh and laugh and laugh.
Yeah, so we just have a few questions.
Sure.
Were you always interested in voice acting?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it really came first from animation. I loved Disney. You'd watch cartoons growing up, and I wanted to be an animator. And so I started practicing art. Both of my parents are artists. And over time, I learned that I was much more interested in performing, and the characters behind, the cartoons were fun. And I learned that I could mimic them pretty well. And over time, I just said, okay, well, maybe I'll try this. And it started off just for fun and then shared online like you professionals are doing. And then it got some attention and said, hey, I could do this for real. So started focusing on acting and studying that. And now I'm a bozo who does voices on cartoons.
Yeah. You're great, and I think voice actors are so underrated nowadays.
Well, if you think about it, actors are voice actors. They do
Yeah.
on camera, off camera. They do radio, they do video games and everything. So now it's a bigger mesh because you're getting a lot of guys from television coming in to do some great stuff in voiceover, a lot in video games because it's a wide open field now. A lot of people moving in.
Yeah. I heard you were nervous about performing in front of a lot of people. Is that true?
Who said that?
I thought I heard it. I think on the Awfully Irish podcast.
Yeah, well, that was definitely as a kid, you get nervous and when you haven't done it before. But no, it's just I have kind of just anxiety tendencies. I get anxious when I do certain things, and voiceover was always comfortable because it's you alone. You can kind of lose your mind, and I grew up doing that, just being more comfortable, mostly introverted. My parents are pretty extroverted, and so I was the opposite. But when the job calls for it, you got to be a little more exuberant and out of your box. So I do that every once in a while, and it's fun, but it does take a little warming up to do. And some people are better at it. Definitely have more confidence and that sort of thing. Me, I like to hide, but I do get the confidence when I get a fun character and I can hide away, do whatever I want.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but obviously you did that celebrity impressions video with Harrison Ford, Morgan Freeman, and Michael Caine, was it?
Michael Caine, you like Michael Caine? You know Michael Caine. Michael Caine's not too old for you. Well, this Michael Caine that I'm doing, I think, is probably Michael Caine from the 90s. Now he's a bit older, is he not? He talks like this.
Yeah, no, I do. I do a lot of impressions. That's how I started. I thought everybody can do impressions. I thought Aaron and Thomas could do impressions, but it turns out
I doubt that.
they can't. Come on, you guys do impressions?
Nah, I wish.
No.
I'm not getting that vocal range.
No,
No, come on. Here's a trick. All you have to do is you find. Has anyone ever said to you, "You look like this person"?
Yes,
I've never got that.
I have.
What did you get, Thomas? Who did they say you look like?
I got Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny?
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
because
You
of my
look like
nose.
Bugs Bunny.
I know. I never knew if that was a compliment or not, though. That's the thing.
It is a compliment. Bugs Bunny is one of the biggest, coolest characters of all time. I mean, come on, that's cool. Well, no, I mean not a cartoon character, any like celebrity that you look like.
I wish, but
No, I
no.
think you guys need a couple more years. You're like what? You're 12-year-olds. How old are you?
I'm 14.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, and Thomas, he's 13.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. No, in a couple more years, you guys will stretch out a little bit more, and the people will be like, "Hey, he looks just like."
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, no. The tip I was going to say is first you would say, okay, you physically look like this person, so you can say, hey, I kind of look like this, and if I change my face a little bit more, I can look like this. And but with impressions, it really is just listening to a character or celebrity or a type or a voice or a dialect over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I've done it so much that I'm kind of on a high-speed train where I can pick it up a little bit faster because I know the cues and what it takes to kind of jump in. But in the beginning, it took some practice. It really took time, and some voices I'd listen to, and I'd be like, "Wow, I wish I could do that voice." And then 5 years later, I could. But then there's some voices I can't do at all. You know.
Yeah, it must be a long learning process. So, who did people say you look like?
Me? I don't
Yeah.
know. Nobody.
Come on, really? Really not? That's a surprise.
When I was a little bit skinnier, I looked like Jake Gyllenhaal, I think. And then who's the guy who's Shazam?
Oh,
The
what's
actor
his
from
name?
Shazam. Zach? Zam?
I think it's Zach.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so, maybe.
Zach's. I think I looked like him when he was on Good Luck Chuck or some show Chuck or I don't know. Now I see my brain works. I gotta go. I gotta see who's that actor who's in it. Come on,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Oh, I can't find it. Okay, doesn't matter.
So
Another thing you could do is if you ask someone, you can say, "Who do I sound like?" You know, who do I sound like? My voice sounds pretty close to Jeff Goldblum. The tone, not the exact
Yeah.
way of speaking. And when people speak to me, they go, "Oh, you kind of sound like Jeff Goldblum," and I'm like, "I don't." Wait a minute, hold on a second. If I slow down, just a little bit, and get a little more, a little more excited. Yes, talk about dinosaurs or, ooh, Thor. We love Thor. Yes, Disney, Marvel. Everybody's excited about big hammers. Yes. You know, that's a launching point where you can go like, okay, I can start by doing that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
really, in the end, it's just about listening and repeating over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's hard, so it takes a lot of work.
Were you we don't want to talk about COD too much because it's like a tiny bit of your big career. But
I don't like codfish, guys. I don't eat it. Is that how the cool kids said? Like, hey man, have you played COD? Hey, COD. Have you played COD?
it's
Might be
like
an English
it's like-
thing.
Yeah, I think it's just a
Maybe it is
little
an English
analogy.
thing. Yeah,
Maybe.
I wonder if it is because I don't know if I've heard Americans say it, but it is a long title, right? Call
Yeah.
of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War.
Yeah, it is quite. So were you a COD fan before you rose in the games?
Well, I've been a fan of I love kind of like period shooter games. So I liked like Medal of Honor games, World War II games. I think the Battlefront, one of the only ones. So yeah, no, the genre, of course, I enjoyed. I don't think I've played Call of Duty as much as everybody else has, and so when I had my first opportunity to be in a Cold War game, I definitely knew all about it, and that's when I started playing. I'm like, oh, I gotta research and make sure I know what's going on. But it really is just a grounded, reality-based game where it's it's all about the realities of war and that sort of thing. So it's just getting that performance, making sure that you weren't too cartoony, you were realistic to that certain degree, unless you play the zombie games. Then it's
Yeah, right. What would you say is your favorite COD that you've played?
I don't know. I think I know people. Well, I like the fantasy elements of the what was it? Was it Modern Warfare where they had kind of more of the futuristic stuff?
Advanced Warfare.
Oh,
Advanced Warfare. I know that one
Mm.
didn't. I don't know if that was received as well. I kind of like the sci-fi futuristic stuff,
Yeah, I
or
love
I
that.
like the World War II stuff. I'm kind of like
Mm.
on the ends of the spectrum. Like either it's historical or it's futuristic. I think because I
Mm.
like to have that escapism when it's really real, when it's like current, and that's it kind of feels weird to me. Like I don't know if we should be fighting the war we're actually fighting in, because. But to each his own. I kind of like that escapism feeling.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Were you worried about like? You've played. Have you ever? You've obviously seen the old Hudson voice actors, right?
I know of them, yes, of course.
Yeah. Were you like worried about like living up to their standards per se? Like you've done a fantastic job, by the way. Like great. And were you like they were really well received? So were you like worried of that?
Well, like any role, when you're replacing someone or stepping in to reprise a character, you have to be sensitive to that sort of thing. So, I was definitely aware of it, but also you kind of have to give yourself some freedom, because if you have, that role on your shoulders and you go, oh my gosh, Ed Harris, wow, how many Academy Awards did he win? Gosh, his pockets are filled with gold. How am I gonna play this guy? And Michael Keaton, of course, did a great job. So if you think too much about it, you're not going to give a compelling, realistic performance. So I honored what they did, I hope, and kind of, push the character in a little bit of a different direction to just, kind of be separate enough from those guys and their personas, but hopefully, keeping the narrative strong and making sure that the character played well in the game and didn't take you out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make sure you distinguish yourself as yourself, but still kept in the line of a good actor for Hudson.
Yeah, because I mean, what I do is impressions, and I could have definitely done, if I worked to make it much more exact and sound exactly like, Ed Harris or Michael Keaton in their performances. But then there's a certain sense of criticism that would come from that. We're like, hey, he sounded exactly like him. Why did they not just get the celebrity?
You didn't.
So it's a touchy thing, and it's just how the business is, where
Yeah.
new games come out, projects change, casts change, all different things like that.
Didn't that kind of happen with Woods? Like I loved the Woods in this game, but I think like you got a lot of hate for kind of trying to copy type thing.
Yeah, I don't know the real reason behind that or that sort of thing. I think Damon did a fabulous job. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
And it really comes down to the production, what they wanted to do for the game,
Yeah.
because he's more than capable of making it not sound like Woods and be an original character or something different. But I think because Woods is such a pivotal and iconic voice, he's got a scratchy voice and badass, and they said, okay, well, let's try and get as close as possible. But I can't speak to why Damon was specifically asked to do that, or why the original actor wasn't able to reprise that. I don't know all the details, but it just happens. That's what that's what happens. And the fans will always have something to say, I think.
Yeah, of course.
No. That's something that comes with being a voice actor, isn't it? Like quite a lot of
Yeah, and especially with iconic characters. I mean, cartoons get replaced all the time. You could be the voice of Bugs Bunny for 6 months and then suddenly replaced, and then that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just like Thomas. Hey, Thomas can do Bugs Bunny, right?
I mean, I don't know about that, but I do look like
What's
him.
up, Mark? Can we do a British one? How about the...
A British Bugs Bunny? I don't know if that's possible.
I think it'd be better if I was the actor and you were the voice actor.
Yeah, there we go. You mean use your good looks?
Yeah, obviously.
Use the model, of course.
Obviously.
Obviously, God, there's no debate. Just don't grow a beard, because then you'll look like me, an old man, an old geriatric man who can barely stay alive.
However you want to, old mate. But for Cold War, I heard you actually do like mocapping. Did you enjoy it, or have you done it before?
Actually, this was my first time doing a complete motion capture. I've done sort of like a motion capture where it was just me. I did it for Outer Worlds, where I was Phineas, and I for some of the cinematics they kind of just tracked my face. I don't know if we did dots on my face, maybe a couple,
Mm.
and I think I did some things for Warcraft. I can't remember, but this was the full time I actually got to wear a suit, and it's very much like stage acting because you're in a big space. You're you're talking and interacting with the actors and minimal props and that sort of thing. It's mostly just cubes and pieces of wood and pipes and tennis balls, and so
Yeah.
you don't really have a lot of real world elements to work with. So you have to use your imagination, and it is pretty silly when you step out of it or you look at the footage. You're like, what? But you just have to access your imagination and go in and go, hey, this is what we're doing now. Now I'm getting a little more serious. I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. You know, you have to click into it. But I'm a kind of a wacky dude, so I always have to work a little extra hard to get serious, make sure that we complete our mission.
So you didn't know you were gonna play Hudson at first, right?
When I auditioned for it, that's correct. I didn't know who exactly I was. They said, "Hey, you'll be playing." I think they even described him as a general. I don't think they even said he was special ops. I think they said, he was a team leader, and he basically is this guy with a lot of experience. He's higher up. He's got a lot of secrets. He's intense. And so I auditioned, and then they kind of told me who I was playing as, and so we made adjustments and started working at it, and we got to the place that Jason Hudson ended up.
Yeah, a bit off topic, but do you ever find it weird? Like, your multiplayer lines, you're quite shouty in them because, like, when your team's losing, you have to give the pressure. Do you ever play multiplayer and be like, wow, I'm shouting at myself?
Well, it's kind of funny. Like,
incoming missile.
That sort of yeah, I think originally we weren't even going to use Hudson. I think they were going to use a different CIA announcer, and then they said, "Wait a minute, the guy who's CIA is Hudson. Let's use him." So we brought him in, and there was some leeway where they said, "Okay, he's not the cinematic Hudson. He's not the mission-giving Hudson. He's Hudson over the speaker." But he's calm and collected. But when poop hits the fan, he goes. He's got to make sure that everybody's
incoming missile. 3, 2, 1.
I don't even remember the lines. There's thousands of lines.
Yeah.
Is it annoying to hear Hudson while you're playing?
No, it's fantastic.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I just love when I get a napalm strike on my face and it just says incoming missile. Oh, it's amazing.
Incoming missile.
Yeah. So you played Reznov in Black Ops 4, right? Victor Reznov.
I did. I believe he was an unlockable or DLC character. Yeah, he was. He wasn't a big character in the game, but he was a surprise element that came in. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't played Black Ops 4, yes, Reznov did appear, had some little audio bits in there.
Yeah, and so you were kind of on the lead up because you've done some tiny voices in Black Ops 3, I believe, as well, right?
That one, I think I did maybe some pilots or some guys over the comlink. Just smaller stuff for that.
So we don't want to talk about it too much because politicality isn't something we really go with on the podcast, but it is now. But you're promoting for like fighting off the coronavirus off, and but we think it's great that you use your popularity wisely, and we appreciate that.
Well, I mean, it's a serious thing, We all want to be healthy. We all want to get back to reality. I think one of the benefits of coronavirus is people are connecting more in a different way, like we are right now, Normally, you guys would probably fly out here. You'd spend thousands of pounds to sit down, and you'd give me a foot massage or something, and then I would do the interview. But because of coronavirus, I agreed I would do this over the internet. No, it's just like it's a different way you can interact, and people are now more open to that. So that's great. But yeah, I definitely want people to know that it's important to stay safe, and we got to keep doing it. And I know people get political on Twitter, and it gets a little tiring. I try and be silly when I do it, or I try to put something fun up there. I
Mm.
don't want to do it too much because I know that's annoying, and people there's scientists we should be listening to, and not silly comedians or actors saying, "Hey, wear a mask." But the reason I say it is because it's trying to show that, hey, look at me. I'm this person. I'm just like you. I'm a human being. I'm going to wear a mask, and it's good. We connect on that. We should all move forward and get rid of this.
Yeah, 100%. It's the only way to fight it, isn't it?
Mhm.
So you wrote and directed The Author, right? And
Yes.
sorry, and it was fantastic. We watched it over, and
Oh, you did?
yeah, and we heard you met Guillermo del Toro, right?
Guillermo del Toro. Yes.
How was that?
Well, that was fantastic. So, because I was doing a lot of YouTube videos, and when you reach a certain level of subscribers, they kind of open up their local studios to you. Excuse me. And so they were having a Halloween theme, and what they do is they send out a application. They say, if you're interested in creating a short, submit a script idea, and if we approve it, then you can film here. So I pitched an idea. They said, great. They gave me 3 days to film. I was so excited. I wrote this script, and then they emailed me a week before the shoot, and they go, we can only give you 2 days. So I said,
Oh.
okay, all right. I got to change the script, make it shorter, make it less complicated. Then they email again, we can only make it 1 day. And I go, oh, okay. So now I'm really freaking out because it's like a couple days before we film. So I go, because they're giving this all for free. So that's why they can make these changes.
That's fair.
And I'm like going, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And the set was produced by Legendary Studios, which is works with Guillermo del Toro. So they made a haunted house set. And if you enjoyed that little short, you can look up other videos. You can type in, I think, the Legendary Studios take over the YouTube space. There's other haunted house videos, and they show the different scenes and parts of the haunted house, which is cool. And so they said on the day before I was filming, they go, oh, we've got a special guest. We have to film a segment in the middle of the day while you're filming. So we're going to have to interrupt your shoot. And I go, oh, God, whoever's this bastard who's going to interrupt me, I'm going to give him, I'll give him what for. And so we go and we're filming as quick as we can, as fast as we can. I'm improvising, changing lines of dialogues. The cinematographer, I believe Katie on the shoot, she was great because she saw that I was freaking out, and she was kind of helping direct things, and we were moving things back and forth. And then they go, hello, we're here with our special guest. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be some reality star, The Bachelor, I don't know. And in comes Guillermo del Toro, and I go, Guillermo del Toro is here. And they said he wants to see you filming. This is the only time he's coming in to the YouTube space, to his set, and he wants to see what's going on. And so by chance, I was there. They cut out all of my time, and I had to squeeze everything in there. But he came in, and the whole cast and crew were so excited. We were like, wow, Guillermo del Toro's here. I took a picture of him. I was basically mimicking Vincent Price, and he heard me, and he said, oh, Vincent Price. I said, yeah. And so that was a lot of fun. And what happened was he just said hello, saw me record a little bit of my scene, and then went on his merry way. But it was really nice to meet him, and through friends in the industry and that sort of thing, I've connected with him a couple more times and done little adjacent projects. But he's one of the nicest guys in Hollywood because he really encourages creativity and works well with collaborating artists and that sort of thing, and really promoting Hispanic and Latino culture to make sure that those stories are told, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is great. He really is a legend. So, see, if we bring up a few games, can you tell us how it was to work on them?
On which ones? I'm sorry.
If we bring up a few games.
Oh yes, yeah, of course.
Okay, so you go first, Thomas.
Is this a speed round? Like you go this one, and I go that one, this one.
Yeah, it's a good quiz. But first of all, a game that I've loved, World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. I've done several things throughout the years. I think the first thing I did was Sky Captain Swayze, which was I think a DLC edition or that sort of thing, and that was early on 2014, 2015, I think. And it was just a pilot. We're kind of mimicking Patrick Swayze from Point Break. I'm sorry, and I can't remember. I think he had a southern twang or something. He's like, yeah, that was a lot of fun to do because that was the first project I did with Blizzard and getting introduced to them and seeing how the machine works over there. And then, over time we stayed connected with Blizzard Studios, and they brought me on to do some other extra characters on the side and other DLCs and that sort of thing. I think I did a few elven people, Turtle or Tortugan, I believe, and yeah, it's a great space because they really thrive with the characters that they create, and they create new species, and they always go like, well, how are we going to populate this world? Let's bring in some actors and mix it up. Let's see their interpretation of how they can bring these characters to life. And plus, I grew up playing it. I think one of the first games I played on PC was it was Warcraft 3. It wasn't World of Warcraft. It was Warcraft 3. And I remember all the characters like, work, work, work. We'll build it. Work, work, work. Okay. They all had the ogre voices. Or the orcs. The orcs.
Yeah, it must be great, like, having that as, like, your first project. So, how about, with Blizzard even, sorry. How about Doom Eternal?
The Maternal?
Eternal.
Oh, Eternal. Wait, what are you talking about?
Doom.
Oh, Doom Eternal. I thought you said
Sorry.
Eternal. It's fine. My ears aren't tuned to the Scottish dialect. Hold on a second. I'd like to do this a little bit. Maybe it's better if I understand you by using the Scottish accent. Okay. No, Doom Eternal. Oh my gosh, one of the funnest games ever to do because we did. They brought me on to do the voice of the Demon Necronomicon, which is kind of like a demon Bible. And I did like kind of a froggy voice for that one, which is really hard on your throat. But we did that all, I think, in 1 or 2 takes. And you can look online. There's a video. Someone made a compilation of all that where it goes like, on the 6th day, everybody died, and no one knew where the ice cream was. So the ants covered the entire kitchen. It's like it goes on and on and on and on and on. And then from that, they kept bringing me back to do some more demon voices. And I did King Novik. And then they said, hey, the demon voice that you use is actually the Dark Lord. I'm like, what? Oh, yeah, the Dark Lord. He's coming. And I'm like, oh, well. So we did some tweaking and we did some changes. We made the voice a little more sinister and a little more like a main villain. So I don't think he's spoken yet, but you will hear the Dark Lord in the next DLC, which is really exciting and fun. They've told me it's one of the best fight sequences they've ever made for a boss battle. So it's going to be cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a game that I've not played yet. I've been wanting to pick it up, but like I've just not been able to pick it up. But I do want to play that soon. But
Do it. You won't regret it. If you don't mind like gory stuff. I think you can even like shut off blood, but it's like the album is so cool. Like while you're playing, you're getting pumped up, and then the demons come out. Even just watching the videos, if you just watch on YouTube, it's crazy how fun.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a non-stop game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those games where you can just jump in and you're on the roller coaster ride versus like over here on the left. If you see a sequence of buttons, it's important to hit them. 1, 2, 3. Now, 45 minutes later, we're going to introduce you to your jetpack. Your jetpack will be used to lift you up and... No. Doom is like, get in there! Fight! Go!
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing soundtrack. But for another game, Darksiders 2. I think you played Blade Master, didn't you?
Yeah, that was a while ago. I'm trying to remember what did we do? Blade Master was I haven't played the game, so I don't really remember. I think he's a mission giver
Mm.
on the game, and he one of the horsemen of the apocalypse war. I think he was the mission giver, so he would come and he would do that sort of thing. But yeah, I haven't even heard myself in that game, and yeah, but yeah, I remember that was I think it was just a British voice of some sort.
Yeah, fair enough.
So have you made like I'm guessing you have a lot of friends whilst working on these things?
Of course. Yeah, no. I mean, with the business of voiceover, it really is a relationship-based enterprise, like most things that you work with, you make a friend with somebody, they work on something else, they recommend you to something, they could bring you onto their own project, they can let you audition, they can suggest you to reach out to somebody else they know. So it's sort of like it sprawls out like a big old tree where you plant the seed, you do a couple projects, and then over time things happen if you continue to stay and maintain your professionalism and your quality of work and improving and being original and engaging with your characters. Then over time people go like, hey, yeah, we know Piotr, he can do a lot of fun stuff,
Mm.
let's see what his interpretation could be. And a lot of times when you work with your friends, that doesn't mean that they're going to use you all the time. They'll give you an opportunity, so there's still a lot of work involved and you always have to prove yourself. But definitely making a lot of friends within the video game industry and animation. And I love animators and artists. I think they're fabulous. They don't get enough credit, because I studied art, so I know how difficult it is. So you'll watch a game and you'll see the background for 3 seconds, or you pick up a magazine in COD and be like, oh, look at that, that's cool, but somebody worked on that for hours. So
Yeah.
I always like to check in, and I always, whenever I do a project, like, can I stop in the studio? Can I see what you guys are working on? Because that's where I geek out, and I have a lot of fun connecting with the artists.
Yeah, kind of like the one that Sims was reading in campaign at the Vietnam.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How did you get into like voice acting with big companies? How did that work? How did you get into the business?
Well, first you've got to sort of, let people know you exist. You're not gonna show up and suddenly be like getting work. It takes time. I think it's taken about 6 or 7 years before I started working consistently, and then I could quit my day job and work full time as an actor. Um, the initial thing is always learning, training yourself. You have to be able to get the skills to make sure that you can compete with other people, because you'll listen to other actors and stuff and say, "Oh, I can change my voice. I'm a genius." But if you change your voice, guess what? Thousands of other people can do the same thing. Even doing impressions, there's a lot of people that can do impressions. You have to be able to act. You have to be able to take a script and read it and be evocative and persuade the audience that this person exists in that form of reality. And so, taking classes, training yourself is the springboard that you need to start off. And then from there, you create a demo, which is a demonstration of your skills. And then you can reach out to agents, and they're the ones who can connect you with the projects that are happening and that sort of thing. But it's a long process because you cast your net out to a lot of people, and you get rejected a lot. It's the natural thing that happens. I think the ratio on average is maybe 100 to 1. So every 100 auditions, you might book one.
Mm.
That's pretty good. Um, so it really depends on your commitment to the craft, because it takes a lot of work, and it can change at any time. I could be working right now, and then suddenly someone else may come along and be more exceptional, do something better than I did, or do something different that the other people prefer more, and so you can fade. And so you always have to be on your game and keep working and make sure that you have the skills required that you can compete now every day. So I'm very thankful because I'm pretty varied. I can do multiple genres and different dialects and characters and gender bend and do a lot of fun stuff. So I'm pretty privileged because if I'm slow in one department, I might pick up in another. Because what's funny is I would do a lot of promos,
Coming soon on the greatest show you've never seen before. Right now, dial 1155678. It's a fake number. If you dialed it, nothing will happen.
I would do that as a joke.
Mm.
And then I started getting auditions for serious ones and I started booking them because I developed such a routine and expertise of the parody that I got closer to the authenticity of what a promo would be. And so I developed skills and started focusing on it for real. And it's thrived. And so when animation is down, where I'm maybe not booking a lot of cartoons or video games, I'll get a lot of promotions or trailers. And so it mixes up. And I'm pretty thankful that I can thrive in this crazy voiceover world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard you recently worked with Jimmy Kimmel, didn't you, as well?
Don't mention his name. He's like Rumpelstiltskin. Or no, who's it? Is it Rumpelstiltskin? You say his name 3 times and then he turns into a block of cheese. I don't know. Yes, no, I do a lot of stuff for Jimmy Kimmel. I think I've done things for them early on, maybe 2011 or something. But no, I've been working with them for a while. I do a lot of characters, a lot of impressions because they're very topical.
Yeah.
So I think the most recent thing I did was I did Rudy Giuliani for the Jimmy Kimmel show because he's got a lot of problems. Recently with the election, Trump is not losing; it's all a conspiracy. I don't want to scream because that would blow out the microphone, but he's much higher energy than that. And I would do a lot of things, a lot of political stuff for the Jimmy Kimmel show, which is fun. And they're fast turnaround. They're usually last minute because they have a joke that they just wrote and they say, "Hey, are you available? Can you do this guy?" And I go, "Whoa, I have no idea. Let me spend 30 seconds to figure out how to do this." For example, Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, there's a company out here where it's just this Republican guy promoting Trump happens to run this company called My Pillow, and he'd have these zany commercials where he'd be in his factory. He's like big high energy. "Hi, Mike Lindell, look at over here, My Pillow." And they needed a sketch for that, so I said, "Okay, let me listen to Mike Lindell for a little bit. Let me get the vibe." And we record pretty quick, and turnaround time is usually within a day. The day after I record, boom, they put it on air the next day. So pretty incredible.
Wow. So what we're gonna try and do is like have a little game with each of our guests.
Okay,
So,
what's the prize? That's all I care about.
I'm sorry.
No prize? You guys can't do this.
Look,
I deserve. No, it's fine.
we will add a prize at some point. Trust me.
Okay. The prize is I'll be the winner or the loser, or we all win. We're all winners. Nobody's a loser.
It's just a little few. It's kind of like a question game type thing. So Thomas, take it.
Alright, so we'll do a few little would you rather questions and we'll sort of elaborate on what your choicings are afterwards.
Okay.
But for my first one, it'll be, would you rather be able to voice act any character you want in a video game or any character in like a movie or something?
I would have to say I would rather do any character in a movie because they'd make the video game version and they pull me in to do that. But then you could also do the video game version and then they make it into a movie. I don't know.
Big brain.
But right now, video games and films, they're getting pretty close to each other. They're very cinematic. So I think, it's only a matter of time before you're playing video games at the movie theater.
I think you can do that for like birthdays and stuff now, can't you?
Well, you kids, you guys know everything. I'm just
an old man. I'm sitting in my house playing with my cats.
I mean, I'm sure Aaron would like to do that with Pepsi.
Yeah. So, the way you written and directed the author, would you rather write or direct something?
I would probably rather write. Directing is great. I think that I I enjoyed directing, but I was behind the camera, so it was much more difficult because I was in front of the camera and
Yeah.
behind the camera, so it's difficult to direct yourself. Um, Writing is fun because then you can kind of just create and see what happens. But I don't know, actually. That's a good question. Gosh, you guys are geniuses. I don't know. You've stumped me. Um, I don't know if I could pick either or. Directing is closer to acting, so maybe I'll go with directing. I'll do that.
Fair enough. Now this is a big question, since you've obviously voice acted in both games. Would you ever play World of Warcraft or like any Warcraft game first of your life, or a Call of Duty game?
Oh my gosh. You guys.
Hard questions.
Oh, because they both get DLCs. They both get expansive.
Mm-hmm.
They're both
Um,
completely new games, like every few, like
Yeah.
well, with Call of Duty every year.
Well, I'll go with game type. I enjoy simulation games. I enjoy building things.
Mm.
So I might have to go with Warcraft.
That's fair.
I like the aspect of building things and kind of exploring. Call of Duty, I would die in the first 3 seconds. Like I come out,
All right, here we go.
I would get shot right away. And then I would get really frustrated because I'm like, I'm such a loser. Because I'd
And-
be up against you guys and you'd be kicking my butt. I think that's the safe answer. I'm going to be on Warcraft because you guys too busy playing Call of Duty and we're like, let's get them. Oh yeah, Jason Hudson,
Eat this.
You'll get shouted at by yourself after you die. You won't be happy.
Yeah.
You died. Get up,
So-
soldier.
You'd done Kung Fu Panda: The Paws of Destiny, right?
Yes.
And you played Wing and Wong and Oogway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So would you rather play Wing and Wong or Oogway?
Oh, Oogway for me. I think
Mm.
Because a turtle is much more interesting to play.
Oh.
Yes, of course. And he's sort of like Yoda, because he's got his way of speaking is always filled with such poetic words and much more calming. Wig and Wom are kind of they're but bunch of idiots.
Yeah, that's fair. Is there anything you'd like to add? Because
me, what I'd like to add is that you guys are fabulous. Is this your first podcast?
yes, it is. and It's
yeah.
our second
I have
episode.
to say, you guys are doing a terrific job. Honestly,
Thank
this
Oh.
is you guys are professional. So keep it up, please.
Thank
You
you.
guys really, I love the logo, the Cub. What's the reasoning behind the Cub Cast? How'd you choose that name?
Well, cubs are young bears. We're young.
Mhm.
I kind of look like a bear. Kind of works.
And we just thought it like helps represent us, and like we're young, but we still bring something to the podcast scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cub Cast. It's fabulous. Do you guys? What you need to work on is you need to work on a theme song for the beginning
Oh,
or a jingle.
Mm.
Like it's me, Thomas, and it's me, Aaron, and we're here trying not to be scaring people away because we're on the Cub Cast. Okay, I don't know. You guys can come up with a fun jingle or a
Mm.
rock thing, or you can. I think you guys, please, I applaud you.
thank
Great
you.
job.
Thank you.
So far. This
That
is
means
fun
a lot.
podcast. You
You're
guys are doing great.
you're
And the
fantastic.
thing is, when you don't have guests, talk to yourself, play it around. It's really good to have the games in there to mix it up. You guys' questions are fun, and yeah, don't be afraid to do more. And I'm happy to come back. I don't know, after you guys done some more, we'll come back and we'll play some more games and have
That'd
some
be
more fun. I'll talk
fantastic.
to
Yeah.
you guys when you're 7 feet tall. I'll be like,
Whoa, both of you are like, hey mate, listen. So last time you were on the show, we were little cubs, right? Now we're older and we have different accents. Isn't that weird?
like, wow, that is very weird.
Yeah, that's
Um,
amazing.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're fantastic. It's really an honor to have you, and like for
Well,
you to help with such a small podcast that we've just made. It means like a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let me end my appearance here by saying I have a gift for both of you.
Huh?
But you guys can email me your shipping addresses, and I'll send you something fun. It has nothing to do with Call of Duty. Sorry about that, guys. But no, just to commemorate your guys' first podcast,
Yeah.
and being your first guest here, and just you guys are sweet fans, and I just want to share my appreciation and let you guys have something fun for the holidays. So,
Thank you
thanks
so
Thanks so
much.
much, man.
That means so much. Yeah, genuinely. We love you. We love you. We really look up to voice actors. We think
Yeah.
that you're all so underrated, and you really deserve much more. Even though you may seem.
Rate me higher. Rate me really high.
I don't know what to say. You're a fantastic first guest. We're so happy that we had you as a first guest.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, and just be as professional as you can. Reach out and be yourselves. Let people know that you know what you're talking about, and you're all about having fun. So just be cool and stay safe. And yeah, is there anything else you guys need from me to make sure that your podcast ends on a high note?
No. That was fantastic. Genuinely, thank you so much.
My pleasure, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
thank
our
you.
pleasure to have you as our first host, guest.
First host. Okay. Welcome to the Cub Podcast. I'm changing the name to the Cub Podcast. It's the Cub Podcast. We only talk about Call of Duty, and if you talk about anything else, we boot you out.
But yeah, we really appreciate you coming on the podcast.
My pleasure, guys.
Yeah, it was
Thank
our
you.
pleasure to have you. Seriously.
All right.
Have a
You
good
guys
one.
Have a happy holiday season. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Social distance. All that
course.
stuff.
Of course.
And yeah, we'll be in touch. And please let me know. I'm happy to share this. You guys take care.
Thank you.
Have a rest of your evening, man.
Ciao.
And thank you for watching. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, click that notification bell.
Make sure you go and share the podcast to your friends and download.
And don't forget to stay cozy.